Okay, this is the proposal page. We're going to start by adding a specification. You'll see different categories of types of work. Once we select one of those categories, we'll be able to choose a specific system. I prefer to type in the search box the name of the system that I'm looking for. You could also filter out the various systems by clicking on a supplier's name. You'll notice that we have thermally broken aluminum storefront, impact resistant for insulating glazing, and aluminum, so non-thermally broken system by Coral. So we'll select this, and in this example, there are two different configurations of this system. The second is quoted as doors and stock material. So in our example, we'll choose a system that we can use to quote an installed price. Now, we already have the product system. We just selected that. The system specification name. So the best practice is to choose a name that is relatable to the plans, the project that you're actually bidding on. Next, we'll choose the finish color. And it's important to understand that the color that we choose is likely to be related to the price that we pay. There can be different prices for clear, bronze, painted finishes. If we had a painted finish, we might also, with this, what we select for the color and the finish type, okay, there can be different prices for different types of paint, but the color and the type are going to be used to find the correct price in the database. The name that actually is going to display on your proposal can be modified by typing in here. Okay, perhaps we don't want to get too technical with the customer. And suppose that we have a situation where we have some custom special type of an anodized finish. Maybe we want medium bronze. And the supplier says charge an extra, or your cost is going to be an extra 10% on the medium bronze, then we can just simply modify the dark bronze price that's going to be looked up. The dark bronze price is going to be found because dark bronze is selected. But if we're going to be using medium bronze, we can put that on our proposal by changing this field, and we can get ourselves to the correct cost basis by using the multiplier that we have been told to use. So after we select the frame finish, we can also add the glass layer specifications, but it's very important to realize that this is informational only, okay? This is not going to pick or select what actually goes on to the proposal. But we could go through the various options. Say we wanted a 1/4 inch bronze with a lowy coating. By the way, surface number 1 is the exterior most surface of the glass. So the surface number 1 is exposed to the outside. Surface number 2 is the inside surface of the outermost piece of glass. Then between 2 and 3, we have an airspace. Surface 2 and 3 is going to be the second piece of glass in this composition. So in this case, it's going to be a 1/4 inch clear heat strengthened. Okay, between 4 and 5, we have an inner layer. So maybe we want PVB in this case. And 5 and 6, that'll be the third piece of glass of the insulated laminated composition. And that's also going to be a 1/4 inch clear heat strengthened. So these glass layer attributes are informational only. They'll display on the proposal, but they're not going to pick out the type of glass price that you're going to use. I'll show you how to do that later. Once we've picked everything, we'll go ahead and save our changes. Now we've got a specification added, so you can edit this by clicking on the specification listed there. So you would be able to change the the type from bronze to clear, it'll tell you, the software will tell you, it's going to recalculate the pricing. You can also view the actual configuration of the system. Okay, so here you can look at the different components. Very importantly, you can access the, in this case, Florida product approval document that was used to configure the system. So you have drawings of the various components. As an example, let's see if we can find, okay, so we have a couple of different glass types. Yep, and so they're labeled IA, so on and so forth. So we have TIA and IB, okay, and TIA, okay, and IB. So we're going to have these two different glass components configured. There could be other components configured. It looks like they just haven't been. Those components can have limitations on their size. And then you can also have, the different mullions, mullion names, limitations. As a general convention, we would like to use the same names for the components in BidUnity that were used on the document that is the basis of the configuration. So we have a light, intermediate, vertical, heavy, vertical, and a wall jamb. And so we have light, intermediate, vertical, heavy, vertical, light, intermediate with steel. And then we can click on any of these components and look at the actual parts to understand, what's actually included. Okay, the part, what kind of labor is associated with the thing itself. How is that labor split up? So all of the different components can be observed. We could also upload pictures of the various components so that we can look at their sections in the elevation drawing. But you can also delete, you can add elevations to the specification, you can delete the specification, you can also add another specification, or you can add elevations to the specification. So it's a big green button. Everybody, it's pretty obvious you're going to click that. After we add our first elevation, it goes away. The button does. And then adding subsequent elevations can be done by accessing it there or here.